But first, a Minneapolis police officer is dead, along with 2 civilians and a suspected shooter. It happened late this afternoon along Blaisdell Avenue near West 22nd Street in the Whittier neighborhood of South Minneapolis.
Our Ben Henry's live near the scene in South Minneapolis where those shots were fired. Ben, what happened there?
Kevin and Lindsay, we are just feet from where those shots were fired. And this was a tough one for many, the community members, the law enforcement that showed up. I was able to connect with a sergeant on scene just to see how everyone is doing. I could tell it was starting to weigh on him, and I imagine his colleagues, also neighboring agencies that responded, state troopers, FBI, DEA, many other agencies here responding, but also helping in the investigation. In the last hour, things have calmed down a bit, with many of those neighboring agencies leaving what is left likely just Minneapolis police officers. This has been the main focus here. You're looking down LaSalle Avenue. We are at the intersection of West Franklin Ave and LaSalle, just across the street from the Park Nicollet Clinic. Investigators still on scene, many squad cars as well. We were here just moments after. And now we are going to head to downtown Minneapolis to hear from Minneapolis city leaders.
Lost a hero in police officer Jamal Mitchell. This officer gave the ultimate sacrifice to protect and save the lives of others. His life, his service, and his name will forever be remembered in the city of Minneapolis. And I'll say it again, Minneapolis police officer Jamal Mitchell is a courageous hero. And today is a devastating day in the city of Minneapolis. We have several other victims, beloved residents, community members that were killed during the same incident. Several others were injured. And our whole city right now is grieving. I want to take a moment to talk about who Jamal Mitchell was. He was a hero, a son, a father, a fiance, and an officer who is so deeply committed to protecting and serving. He would run towards danger when the rest of us would run in the other direction. In fact, just a year ago, Officer Jamal Mitchell was recognized for a heroic act in saving a number of people, an elderly couple, and that is just the kind of person that he was. To his family, we will honor his sacrifice. We will remember his name. We will never forget what he did for the people of our city. The lives that he protected, those lives that he saved. In the days and weeks to come, we are all here for you. You have our support. We are with you as we honor Jamal. To the members of the Minneapolis Police Department, yours is an honorable profession in an incredible police department. It is your courage that helps keep our city safe. You've worn the uniform and the badge during the most difficult circumstances that our city has ever faced, and you've worn that uniform and badge with pride, compassionately protecting and serving. You've continued to show up with dwindled numbers. You've continued to do the right thing in helping people in need, and you have our support. To the families of the victims, we stand with you. We feel your pain, and you'll have an entire city that will wrap their arms around you to show the support and love. And to our Minneapolis community, we are strong. We are resilient. We have been through hard times before, and we find a way to rise above, and we will do that again. I want to thank a number of different agencies and jurisdictions that showed up during our moment of need. I want to thank the state of Minnesota, Governor Walz, the Department of Public Safety. I want to thank our Hennepin County Sheriff's Office and Sheriff Witt. I want to thank the City of St. Paul and all of the other agencies that have helped us through this very difficult night. We come together during hard times. That's what we do in Minnesota. And before I turn it over to Assistant Chief Blackwell, I want to ask each of you and members of the public and press to be patient with us as we do not know all of the facts yet. We want to make sure that the investigation is completed and that we're doing it the right way, that we're honoring both the victims and their families. And we got to do everything possible to make sure that these tragic events, in this epidemic of gun violence, this kind of stuff never happens again. And with that, I will turn it over to our Assistant Chief Blackwell.
Thanks for being patient with us. This has been a terrible day for our agency and in law enforcement. And it's happening all too frequently, and it affects so many. But today, MPD officers responded to a report of a double shooting on the 2200 block of Blaisdell Avenue South. When officers arrived, they received gunfire immediately, and they exchanged gunfire. 2 officers were injured, and they were immediately brought to HCMC. Officer Jamal Mitchell died at the hospital, despite all life-saving measures by Hennepin Healthcare. The second officer received non-life-threatening injuries. The suspect on scene was injured, and even though he's injured in that gunfire, officer still rendered first aid, and he was pronounced deceased at the scene. 2 additional adult victims with gunshot wounds were located on the scene. One was pronounced deceased on the scene, and the second victim was gravely injured. A firefighter was also injured during gunfire, and they received non-life-threatening injuries. BCA is investigating this incident. And to our fallen officer, Jamal Mitchell, he was a hero. I've never met an officer that received an award on the 3rd day on the job during his FTO. He's courageous in every action that he did. He was a wonderful human being. He had only been on our department about 1.5 years, and he was exceptional in every way. My condolences to his family and to his child. They're hurting tremendously, just like our officers right now. But I really want to thank every agency that responded. There were so many agencies that responded between fire, EMS, and law enforcement to help our officers on scene that was unfolding, and it was chaotic. And I want to thank them tremendously for all their help. And the Hennepin Healthcare, who did everything they could to save our officer. So thanks for your patience. More information will be coming out soon.
Thank you, Assistant Chief Blackwell, and deepest condolences to you and your officers, Mayor Fry and City Council. Most importantly, to the Mitchell family. There's no words you're going to hear today that are going to make today and the horror of it go away. For Minnesotans across the state, here in Minneapolis, but across the state, you're feeling the trauma of this once again, because this is one of those incidents should be unthinkable, but it's very thinkable because it's now happened 4 times in the last couple months where we've had public safety officers responding to the call that people make to 911, rushing into that situation, and in this case being ambushed, and a loss of life for Officer Mitchell. That trauma quickly should turn to anger and a commitment that this cannot happen. We do not have to live this way. We have got to commit together to do all we can. So Mayor Fry, to the City Council, the commitment of the state to provide anything we can in assistance to this. I too want to thank all those agencies today in a very chaotic situation. You'll hear a little more from Superintendent Evans. This is a very unfolding and fluid situation when you have this type of situation spreading over a couple of blocks. but all the folks who once again rushed into that. I thank the State Patrol who was there to help assist MPD, and then of course BCA will have crime scene investigators on the scene as we speak right now. But these press conferences cannot be the norm. The funerals we attend and the folks who were willing to serve at a time. This is a really hard job. It's a really hard job, and it's really hard with lots of guns on the street, and it's really hard if those folks can't feel us unified behind them to make sure that we're providing every single thing we can to make sure that they get what they need to do their job, to protect all of us, but to protect themselves. Their families deserve to know they're coming home. So deepest condolences and an absolute commitment that this cannot be the norm. With that, I would turn to Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, Drew Evans.
Well, thank you, Governor. And at the outset, I want to express my condolences to the Minneapolis Police Department, Assistant Chief Blackwell, and all the members of the City of Minneapolis Police Department. As the Chief noted and the Mayor noted, this is a terrible day. As the Governor noted, this is happening far too often in the state of Minnesota, and something definitely needs to change. What we had today is another police officer that was killed in the line of duty, who was rushing towards danger, who answered a call for service, and the first thing he did when he got out of his car was try to help victims that were at a scene, and he was ambushed. And I'm seeing that far too often where individuals are doing that on a regular basis, where they're doing their jobs, and the first thing that they encounter is gunfire. And it's alarming, and it's scary, and once again, we're sitting here with a police department that's in incredible pain and a community that's in incredible pain. As Assistant Chief Blackwell noted, this call was originally a shooting call at an apartment, and as Officer Mitchell neared the scene, he located individuals that were injured and got out of his car, and as he was attempting to provide assistance to them, medical assistance, he was ambushed. With that, in the original apartment, 2 males were shot. We will be working in the coming days to provide you additional information about that particular incident. One was deceased at the scene. One was transported to the hospital, and as was noted, is in grave condition at this time. And we'll provide additional information on that in the days to come. Where Officer Mitchell was shot was about a block and a half, 2 blocks away from the original calls area. And that's where he was shot by the subject at that time. And there was another person, an innocent bystander, we believe, that was shot as well at that location that is currently alive and in critical condition. There was also a firefighter, as noted, that was shot in that particular area as well. We will release the information about the actual subject that was involved in this. A second officer, I should note, arrived shortly after Officer Mitchell was injured and shot, and I exchanged gunfire with the subject at that time. He was injured in that gunfire exchange as well, and the subject is deceased at the scene in that location. As noted, we believe we know who the individual is. We believe this is isolated to the 2 different locations at that time. We believe that the individuals in the apartment had some level of acquaintance with each other. And I want to just caution everybody at the outset, we're in the very early stages of this investigation. I ask for your patience. We'll provide you a lot more information as we get it together. As noted, the Governor noted, we have crime scene investigators out at the different locations right now, and we have dozens of agents out working to meet with witnesses, canvass the area, gather additional information so we can provide you with the answers that I know you all want right now and into the coming days, and we'll provide additional information as we have it. With that, I would open up just to a few questions. As noted, we will provide the information on the officer in the coming days, as is a normal protocol with the work that we do, and we will provide additional information on the deceased persons and the other people injured once we have confirmed all that, and we've had an opportunity to be able to speak with them, their families.
Recapping the new details that we learned tonight, the officer killed today was Jamal Mitchell, an officer recognized for going above and beyond to help those in need. Kevin, he'd been on the department for about a year and a half. He was described as a hero, a son, a father, and a fiance, that he was committed to the force.
We also learned a firefighter who was responding to the scene was also injured, non-life-threatening injuries. Again, the second police officer who confronted the shooter also received injuries, non-life-threatening. This all happening about 4:30 this afternoon with the original call of 2 people being shot in South Minneapolis.
And that's why we ended up having 2 scenes
Yes.
from that original call. And then when officers arrived, we were being told that this was essentially an ambush at that point.
Yeah. They took gunfire immediately. Now, again, you heard this is a developing story. We don't have all the answers tonight. We hope to have much more for you tomorrow. Trust 5 Eyewitness News to bring you continuing coverage as we learn more about the shootings in South Minneapolis today. We'll bring you updates here on air, online at KSTP.com, and, of course, on our free KSTP mobile app.